Hi, my name is Erica McKean and I'm the author of Tear, published by Invisible Publishing. Tear is the story of Frances, a young woman on the brink of graduating from university when she begins to have trouble distinguishing between reality and fantasy. So she can't tell the difference between her dreams and her memories, and most worrisome, she can't tell whether the tapping sound coming from her bedroom wall is real or not. So I'm going to read you just a short section from Tear when this tapping sound transforms into banging. She heard the scratching against her ear. She lifted her fingers and looked at her nails, longer than she remembered, stretching out half an inch past her fingertips. She lifted these fingers and curled them, pressed the heel of her hand into the wall, and scratched back. The scratching on the other side stopped. Frances pulled her hand away, stared at the wall, and listened. She waited. She imagined some furry thing tucked in the dirt just a few inches from her face. She clicked her fingernails against the floor, breathed. She had only just relaxed, just decided to scratch again to see if the thing on the other side would respond when bang. The sound of a sledgehammer filled the room, a slam, a brick, a punch, a kick, bang. Frances felt it in her skull, felt the echo knocking around inside her head. She skidded backward across the floor to the side of the bed, nearly to the closet, propelling herself with the heels of her feet, and held her hair. Her fingernails pulled against her scalp. Bang, bang, bang. Frances held her ears, held her eyes, but still felt the sound beneath the floorboards, still heard the sound behind her eye sockets, in between her teeth. She watched as the wall buckled with each bang toward her, bending inward, displacing dust, the ceiling rattling, the lampshade on her bedside table shaking. "Let me tell you a story," she thought. She thought in her grandfather's voice. "Let me tell you a story." She was back in Nilestown in her bed, waiting for her mother to come home. It might scare you because it's true. She was back in Nilestown, on the back deck, sitting between her grandfather's knees. "Let me tell you about the blue man who lived in the cellar. He used the cupboard down there as his bed and the old toy bucket as his bathroom. Bang, bang, bang." But why was he blue? Let me tell you, that's part of the story. He was blue because, bang, he used to be a very little boy, almost a baby. And when he was this little boy, he lived in the house and he snuck down into the cellar because his mother told him not to, and because this was where the toy bucket was. Bang. And his mother couldn't find him. He hid for a long time and then got bored and tried to leave, but the cellar steps were too high for him to climb. So he looked around and he found the metal bin that caught drips during storms. And it was full from the last rainfall. And as he was watching his reflection, he lost his balance and fell through his reflection. And he was hardly more than a baby, remember, and he couldn't get out, bang, and he turned blue. Bang, bang, bang. And he turned blue. But here's the trick, here's the real point of everything. He still grew up down there in the cellar, even though he had turned blue. He grew up into the blue man and lived there a long time. He used the cupboard as his bed and the old toy bucket as his bathroom. And he never came out of the cellar, even though he was grown and could climb the stairs now, because he knew his mother wouldn't recognize him, and wouldn't that be worse than anything? So he lived there and pretended he was little. And if you go down at night, maybe you'll hear him crying, because he grew up and no one saw him grow. Because he's old now and still blue, and nothing ever changed, not really. And isn't that worse than anything? Isn't that bad enough to make you want to die? Bang, bang. And Frances, who was young now, who had imagined herself young and out on the back deck with her grandfather, said, "Grandpa, I don't like that story. I don't bang, bang, like it. I don't bang. Want to hear it again." Thank you.